Can Zeke deke again? I'm Jonathan Coachman. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, Ezekiel Elliott, fresh off 100 yards a week ago, as it'll be the New York Giants taking on the Dallas Cowboys. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New York Giants and the Dallas Cowboys. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Gunn, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Giants, they're halfway home, looking good at a perfect 8-0.
And not much to complain about so far, is there? I'd have to say they're the best team in the NFL through the first half of the year.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now a play fake here on first down. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's second down. And the big boys up front in the trenches, what do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. A look now at the starting 11 on defense for Dallas. This unit, they're hoping to improve against the pass because right now, Charles, number 27 in the NFL. And it's really difficult to prepare for this team. This is the #1 overall passing team in the NFL. But it shouldn't be hard to get excited about playing against them. The ultimate test going against that unit.
And that's why you and I are excited to broadcast this game.
Yes, sir.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. They'll look to throw. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Dante Fowler in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
Fourth down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. And we'll see what he can do on the return. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. As we get a peek at their dynamic signal caller hailing from Mississippi State, it's Dak Prescott.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe he leans on a few other parts of the offense and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. The numbers for Zeke from last week. 10 carries, 119 yards.
Well, he's the number 2 runner in the league, and you just know the offensive line wants to get him to number 1 because most of the good ball carriers, they take care of their linemen. Could be a gold watch in their future if he becomes the leading rusher.
If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're open to do it consistently here. That burst good for 20 and a first down. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs.
So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. A first down carry by Elliott. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Jesse James, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Ryan Suckup on for the point after. Extra point put through by Suckup, and that makes the score 7-0. Just a 4-play drive that time, and it's capped off for the Cowboys touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to get. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Malik Collins busting through to get him for a loss of 6. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. They'll set up to throw. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
I know we just saw a nice throw and catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
back to throw here on first down. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. The numbers for Beckham in last week's effort. 4 catches, 103 in the yardage department.
And I get the feeling that he loves this matchup. I mean, the unit he's going against is in the bottom half of the league against the pass. He had to have circled this one on the schedule and said to himself, this should be a big game.
And they'll go on the ground. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Defensively
here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
DeMarcus Lawrence in on the tackle. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on. It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that, got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous. Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. Last week, a strong showing, up over 100, also 2 trips to the end zone.
It's the kind of week that if you said, listen, I'll let you have this type of a game each and every week, you'd sign up for it. You wouldn't try and get too greedy. But let's face it, good runners always want to be a little bit more greedy at the end, try and squeeze out every last yard. He's going to try and duplicate that and exceed it in this game.
And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Partner, we had their game last week where they had 6 sacks, so a little bit more momentum here again in the first quarter.
And last week it appeared that they were coming out of sprinters blocks, chasing the quarterback. So how do they continue that? How do they keep making it happen? Different looks, different disguises, different angles that they chase him.
They were so disruptive last week. We'll see what the trend is here as we go forward. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. On the counter, Elliott. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. Looking for Hearns, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Alec Ogletree. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You got to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
A new
quarterback set to take the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And they'll get this down to the 10. A solid pickup of 13 sets them up first and goal.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
First trip to the red zone for the Giants. They've got a first and goal from the 10-yard line. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a second and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. So stuff for no gain on second down brings up a pretty interesting third from this distance.
I'm throwing the ball, and I'm not even thinking about play pass. I'm going to let them know right away I'm throwing it. I'm probably giving my quarterback some room, spread him out to one side or the other, and give him an opportunity. If it breaks down, he can take off and run for it.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. And for the second time tonight, his field goal unit comes out here. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And the kick by Rosas is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now Dak Prescott of the offense heading back onto the field. He'll look to shake off the interception on the opening drive. He should at least be comforted that it resulted in 3, not 6.
And if I were him, I would be the guy all the way out on the field greeting my defense now, saying thanks a lot. You held them to a field goal after I turned it over. That's a big defensive stand for them. He needs to go out now and make up for what he did on the first drive.
And he's able to get up here to the 26. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll make it second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Prescott now on 2nd down. A dump off to Elliott. He'll be tackled shy of the 35. Shifty footwork gets him a little extra on the play. Call it a pickup of 7, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott, and he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient on picking up 3rd downs in the top 5 in the NFL. It's all a mindset, and I guarantee you it started in the offseason. 3rd down's important to them. They find a way to pick them up at a very good clip.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They keep on the ground with Elliott. And shedding through the tackle. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. There to stop him on the defensive side, Lorenzo Carter.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
3rd and long for Prescott. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. Now out come the Giants. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super toe.
That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. 1st down.
And not all spectacular catches are the result of a pass that maybe was not thrown quite right. Sometimes it's thrown in the perfect spot, and you have to just go get it. And he did that right there.
No fear there in the middle of the field. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. It's brought in here by Willie Snead. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. And they'll run it here. And now running right through it. Back-to-back nice plays. 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the 2nd half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Right back to him on first down. And he's taken down inside the 30. 12 yards on back-to-back plays there, and that's another first down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. And on the ground they go with a running back. Down right around the 25. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. They'll drop the throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. David Irving in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Aldrich Rosas now to try the Giants field goal. This will be from 49 yards out. And he missed it. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. So it's a 2nd missed field goal here in this first half. He'll have to think about that going forward. Maybe time for a little soul-searching as well.
Yeah, the head coach might be looking towards the heavens because you wonder if this will affect the 4th down decision-making going forward. If you get 4th and 3, 4th and 4, situations that used to be calls for the kicker might get a second thought.
Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the 2nd quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. They start on the ground with Elliott. Nice little juke. Ezekiel Elliott gonna take it the distance. Touchdown, Cowboys! Ezekiel Elliott is 11th touchdown of the year. And the Cowboys are able to show off their quick strike ability. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Extra point try now for Succop. Extra point up and good by Succop. And that pushes the lead up to 11. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. 1 play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. A very solid gain of 27. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And bringing it in right side here, Beckham. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls.
Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Malik Collins in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Now back to throw. Caught by Snead over the middle. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Looking to throw. And incomplete here on 3rd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Aldrick Rosas now to try the Giants field goal. This will be, let's see, 38 yards out. And Rosas puts this one through. And a 2nd field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Yeah, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
After the field goal, here's Rosas to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Dak and the Cowboy offense heading back onto the field. He has not been on his A game, but his team has really picked him up. I think he probably now in 2nd quarter he's thinking, all right, time for me to get going.
And he also has to keep in mind that, he has contributed. You're exactly right. Not totally on his A game, but guess what?
He's got the touchdown
He's got a touchdown pass. Yes, he tempered it with an interception, but he has contributed, and he just can't get down and worry about his own stats. The team's winning. That's cause for celebration, even though there's a ways to go.
Well, now he'll be looking to contribute a little bit more. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
Nice job there defensively. A great time to dial up a blitz.
And give him credit under center instead of throwing it away. Actually a pretty good job of getting past the line of scrimmage, not losing yardage. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. A second down throw for Prescott. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. The Cowboys on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Prescott from the gun. And to the left side here, Wilson. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
That goes in the category of a play that the defense is going to cherish and excites them. A completion, yes, you give up the pass, but no gain. I mean, that's exactly what you want on defense.
And sets up the 4th down. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Taking it about the 16. Ooh, the juke. Oh, and now he bowls him over. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. And a lot of times you talk about establishing the ground game. Probably something they need to do more of here losing in the 2nd quarter.
When you're riding your best horse, you've got to lather him up. The best running backs I've ever talked to, they've all said the exact same thing to me. I'll even break a good sweat until I get to 20 carries.
You're full of good wisdom. Let's see if they can get him into the game more now. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They'll set up a throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field.
And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Dante Fowler. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The Giants on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and forever. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for New York. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. He's in his zone, 2nd quarter, already closing in on a 100-yard game.
And that's the magic number for a running back. Anytime you get to that triple digits, That's all you're looking for, but he's got a chance to really exceed that in this one.
Yeah, he does. That's been the gold standard for a long time, hasn't it, that 100-yard mark?
It really has, and that never has to shift because it's in a game. It's a 1,000-yard mark. I'm wondering, since we've gone from 12 to 14 to 16 games, maybe we need to up that a little.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Throwing again. Prescott on 2nd and 10. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And a stoppage here. A timeout before this third down play takes place. As the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. The last catch did get 3, but they're still left needing 7 yards on third down. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Over the middle, complete. That's Lamb. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
That crossing route is so effective when you hit it just right because you get a guy on the move, and then we see the end result there.
It's a nightmare for the defense. They got a guy with a full head of steam.
Not only does he catch it, but he picks up additional yardage after it.
Prescott now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. They'll throw again. Prescott looking and finding Allen Hurns. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So we have come to halftime here in Dallas with the Cowboys out in front. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin up at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, where you see the final score there. Aaron Rodgers leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. Next, we head off to check out another game. And they were winners in their ball game as they beat the visiting Washington Redskins. Patrick Mahomes strong in the victory as it pushes his guys back above the 500 mark on the year. And one final game to highlight. It's Monday Night Football, and they've got a good one this week between the Minnesota Vikings and the San Francisco 49ers. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Rosas now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Out come the Cowboys now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And that is incomplete. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
But it's not been the best game for him, but he definitely tried to get by with a little help from his friend there, trying to create a big play.
Couldn't do it, fell incomplete, but you're right, hasn't been a banner game here in the second half, just trying to get going.
Big thing is trying to keep confidence up and continue to fire.
To throw is Prescott. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
The Cowboys on third down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Prescott to throw it. Got his man complete over the middle. That's James. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the third quarter. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. And they'll go with the ground attack here. Room to run past midfield. He's at the 30. Touchdown, Giants. A great effort there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Giants have got it back to a one-score game. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
They're going to keep it on the ground. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. Defensively, certainly not fooled there. Play started at the 2, and he was tackled at the 2.
That has to feel good for them. Not happy about having given up the touchdown, but stopping the 2-point conversion gives them a little bit of a lift as they head to the bench.
closest now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Now a play fake here on first down. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. 10th carry now for Elliott. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
After the penalty, it's Elliott. And he'll be taken down right around the 27. It'll be a 5-yard pickup there. So from 2nd and 13, they're back to a more manageable 3rd and 8.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. And Wilson has it. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Prescott now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's 1st and 10. They'll pitch it out to Elliott. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. The safety Landon Collins there to make the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Throwing, Prescott, and he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that that fell harmlessly to the ground. The Cowboys on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 8. Now Prescott. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tease Tabor. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops.
Well, this had trouble written all over from the start. He's got 2 extra defensive backs in the game he's got to deal with. They're in a dime set. So everywhere he's looking, he's seeing a different color jersey. And sure enough, this one winds up being intercepted.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. The big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably gotten some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one goes for 24 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. This quarterback now 10 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. Here's Breida. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
That was a terrific catch. I mean, to go up there and get it one-handed like that, but I almost want to go into that riff about back in my day, the gloves weren't quite like this.
When did gloves really become prevalent, just in general?
I think in the 80s. I think as we started to move through the 80s, especially as we got towards the latter part of that. But a lot of those were really like baseball batting gloves to begin with not much of a tacky area on the glove. In fact, there was none. I actually remember in cold weather games wearing the old scuba gloves, which you'd wear in diving, but they would split too easily in the course of a game. Then the glove manufacturers got smart and started adding to it, and here we are today.
When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop him.
And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
Well, the spotlight hit him once already tonight as he got into the end zone. He was trying to make it a double spotlight, wasn't he?
But credit the defense, bottling him up, not letting him get in for the second score there. This is 3rd and goal now. 80,000 on their feet here in Arlington. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And Ingram's got it. Touchdown, Giants. Evan Ingram, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Giants are in for 6. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting runs, so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had to feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
The Giant offense going to stay on the field as they'll go for 2. They'll try and run it here. And he's going to be hit and taken down in the backfield. Just nowhere to run that time. And the try for 2 is snuffed out. And in the 3rd quarter here, they were trying to push that to a 3-point game, but instead it'll stay at 1.
And I'm a big proponent of not chasing points or going for 2 too early. But in this case, I understand why. You know, if you kick an extra point, you're just up 2, right? So a field goal still puts the other team ahead. So you go for 2 here and protect the field goal lead. They didn't get it done, though.
Rosas now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Looking to throw. Prescott. And that is incomplete here. He was trying to get it to Ezekiel Elliott, and it's 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back. But it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Prescott now. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Well, they went with the nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down, you bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And they'll go on the ground. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill out the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
And they'll run it here. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
From our vantage point, that was just one bad play by the offensive line in a series of really good ones tonight, but I know that they're going to be really ticked off. It's a lot like a baseball pitcher losing a no-hitter late in the game.
The Giants on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. They'll look to throw. Losing 9 yards there. And it also brings up 4th. Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for New York. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Dak Prescott on the offense heading back onto the field. And the stats on the screen tell the story. A great start. This defense, they made some good adjustments, though. He's fallen off since.
Have to like what they did at the half, but you also have to like the fact that they hung in there. Despite the fact they had a tough first half, he was locked in, right? Rocking and rolling. They came out, made their adjustments, got their confidence back. Now they're causing them all sorts of trouble.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. They go to Elliott again. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
That's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. 2nd and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving a running back a crease to run through, and has a nice job to hold him just a couple and force a 3rd down.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Arlington, and we've got a dandy here. 1-point game as we begin the 4th. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Alec Ogletree coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. He just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter. He's been terrific so far. And New York set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Fights off the defender. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. We come up here on 1st and 10. And they'll go with a ground attack here. Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bring up a key third down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. The Giants on third down. Just one conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This is 3rd and 8. On play action, they'll throw. He finds Beckham, complete. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence, or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
They're going deep in the playbook, and a great grab on the other end. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Now, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
I think this defense tired of seeing him run the football, and this D-line probably getting sick of the O-line as well.
And as I'm watching this, I'm thinking about a conversation I had with Adam Gase, the head coach of the Miami Dolphins in the offseason. He told me that he asked his running backs each week for their favorite runs. Give me your 3 top runs. And right now, you're seeing a guy.
Oh, no, he lost the football. And I think the offense got it back. They did. Inside the 10-yard line, they avoid disaster.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. This is Marshall. And he's going to bull his way into the end zone for a Giants touchdown. Keith Marshall, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Giants are able to grow their lead. And on his way to the end zone, shedding the tackle, he would not be denied.
That's what's called finishing the run. Making sure you power your way through. One-on-one tackle. No running back wants to go to the bench and say, I got stopped just short.
Aldrich Rosas on for the extra point. Extra point hugged the upright a bit, but he gets it to go. And that will ensure that it will take a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And a 9-yard run on the end of it. Rosas now to kick this one away. And that one carries out of the side of the end zone here, so it's a touchback and bring it out to the 25. And out now come the Cowboys. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now Prescott. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down. First play of the drive in their hip pocket. Of course, the focus here has to be the touchdown of the 2-point conversion. Field goals aren't going to help you.
Yeah, but how about that first play of the drive? Just to get them started, nice gain, got some positive momentum going. They're on their way, and they don't have to rush.
Prescott now A perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Here's Prescott. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
After that incompletion, I almost get the sense that he's going to look up at the booth and kind of look at us and say, hey, you guys got any suggestions? It's been that kind of game, hasn't it? They've had him on the run throughout.
Yeah, and I get that you're trying to make a play here losing fourth quarter, but to throw when you're not set with pressure coming could have been an interception.
Very much so, and it's been that kind of game for him. They've had him on the run, had him off balance.
And now the ball's out, fumble near midfield. And who's got it? The Giants.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior, big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
It'll be a gain of 7, and they get it back to a 3rd and 3. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
I don't know about you, but I wanted to reach out of the booth and snatch that pass myself. That thing floated forever up there, and I think that threw off the timing of the receiver. That's why he couldn't get his feet down even though he caught the ball.
You know, Charles, I would have liked to have seen that.
Yeah, me too.
For you. I wanted to see you reach out and catch that.
Yeah, you've heard about my hands, huh?
He finds Hearns left side. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
On 3rd down, Elliott. They get 9 yards there, and they get a 1st down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Prescott looks to throw on first. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves his sticks. So the drive takes him into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Here's Prescott. Over the middle, the connection to Hearns. Some extra space following the display of power. Down just inside the 45. A gain of 6 there on first. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic and people wanting to put a little contact on him. Really well done.
Prescott now on 2nd down. Over the middle, that's caught by Ross. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Prescott over the middle, complete. That's Ross. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. He'll look to throw. Over the middle here to Wilson. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. He's back to throw. They're able to locate Wilson. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. They'll look to throw. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And now the Cowboys are within a 2-point conversion of tying up the game.
The touchdown is huge, but the focus now is on a 2-point play. I don't want to say they have a cushion here, but if they don't get it, they still have a chance for onside kick.
They would need some big-time help, but you're right. There would be a shot, but the focus right now on that 2-point conversion. Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion. They'll try and run it in. And he's going to get into the end zone. The 2-point conversion successful. And we've got ourselves a tie football game. Huge, huge conversion there to tie this thing up, but they're not done yet. Their defense needs to get a stop.
Yeah, there's still plenty of time for the other team to come downfield and put some points on the board. But job 1 was taken care of. The 2-point conversion to get this thing tied.
So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. Fielded about a yard deep. Now that should give his guys a spark. He's up all the way to the 44-yard line.
Well, so much for the worry about how they would be after losing their lead. What a big-time return to seize the momentum back.
And the Giants ready to come out now. They need to get this around the 40 to have a chance to win it in regulation. From the 40, it's a 57-yard field goal, so that gives you a gauge.
And all they're trying to do now is pick up yardage in good chunks and get out of bounds to stop the clock. If they end up running a play and get tackled in bounds, they're worried the clock may run out on them and finish the game.
They'll have to be careful how they handle this. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath, because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle, kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They're going to look to throw. Caught right side. It's Snead. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
That's exactly what they were looking for. If they get another gain like that, they'll be right there in field goal range.
And the tension building. The offense on 3rd down tonight, just a 20% success rate at 2 of 10. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. They'll look to throw here. And that is incomplete. He has had a great game defensively. He's been east-west, north-south, everywhere.
Yeah, and I love how you described that, because to be a great defender, you have to be able to move up and back, sideline to sideline, and he's been fantastic. Reminds me of a young Charles Davis when he was playing Madden.
Absolutely. Oh, wow, I thought you could go on the field, but okay, I see you. Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
Looking to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's got this down to the 35. A big pickup of 12 yards on 4th down to keep this drive from stalling.
Okay, there's 3 timeouts left, right?
I think you got to use one here, don't you?
No doubt about it. I'd use one right here.
And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Green.
Now a toss play. It's Breida. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now the Giants will use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. Now back to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. And we are set for a great finish as that timeout comes in with 2 seconds to go in this football game. And right now it all rests on the right foot of Aldrick Rosas. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. And right now it all rests on the right foot of Aldrick Rosas. The clock showing just 1 tick. This for the win. And the kick by Rosas is good. And the Giants win the football game. Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for the Giants, the train just keeps rolling 9-0 now to start this campaign. And they will head home next week to take on the Washington Redskins. Meanwhile, for Dallas, they suffer their 4th loss so far. And they'll be at home for one next week as the Atlanta Falcons come to town. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.